Hello, everybody. This is the Angel 2000 backlog on our video or something, and today I made it my mission to install every version of Microsoft Windows on this one laptop. You can see all of them right here. Now, actually, these aren't all the versions of Windows because they also release things like mobile versions, server versions, device versions, um, embedded versions, and a lot of other stuff. So this series will only be focusing on the personal computer and server versions. You can see this thing right here. This is like a thing of like all of the versions of Windows that were ever released. Basically, these are all we're downloading. We'll focus on the other ones like in later videos or something. But I hope to, by the end of the week, which is today Saturday, tomorrow Sunday, get to at least Windows 3, and maybe not more, because I got a lot of things to handle, like, right now. Like, yeah, sure. So, what we have right here is Windows 1.0, which was released to the public on November 20th in 1985, and fun fact, actually had support all the way until December 31st of 2001, so that's like a great 26 years of support. And what I have right here is the ISO file and VirtualBox, which will let me emulate all of these old Windows versions. So let's just like cut the crap and get to it. And as you can see, we are here in like this Linux menu. Here's the little Linux penguin. It's Windows is right here. Kind of want to point out that this screen is so tiny. I bet in editing I'll like make it bigger, but like right now, what I'm seeing is so small compared to probably what you guys are seeing because I probably made the screen bigger in editing. It's like a message to future me self. So here's Windows 1.01. Pretty boring. The number one thing you can notice is that there's no icons. Everything was just file names. So you got ABC, you got calculator.exe. Yeah, it basically had to know what a .exe file was and like what it did to like open anything. So there's your calculator. You also had your calendar, which actually syncs to today's date, which today is March 14th of 2026. That's great. You had a clock, which is quite literally just a clock. And you also, I mean, this thing kind of like opened up the door for a lot other Windows versions, like Windows applications. You had it right here, which will let you write things, as you can see in my very great sentence. And this actually also had Microsoft Paint. It's right here. They didn't call it Microsoft Paint, they just called it Paint. And you can see I'm doing painting things. So, of course, this was only released in the US, Windows 1.01. It was released for like 99 bucks, which like 99 bucks in 1985 is like 300 bucks in today's money. So, but back in 1985, this was good for the price. Although you also had to buy a computer, and that was loads more money than just buying a Windows 1.01 CD. But that's all I have to show you for Windows 1.01. All right, so up next, what we have is what we have is Windows 1.02, released in May 14th of 1986. It's basically it didn't really update much. If we go to release versions right here, it says 1.02 was published mainly for the European market. So what we downloaded right here is this OVA file that made it into like DOS. It was a whole process I had to do. So you can see instead of like a Windows logo here, it says DOS, but it's really easy to run. I tried it out before I started the recording, make sure nothing happened. All I did was just like press on it and like do some DOS things and type CD Windows in the window. It's just that. So let's start it up. And there you can see it's telling me to set new date and time. While I do this, let me like yap about things. So this is running MS-DOS version 3.3. I want to say that I did a test run of this series and I did some things wrong, which I just realized until now, because I would download versions of Windows 1.02 and they would be black and white and they wouldn't let me use the mouse. So I think this is gonna fix all that. We type cd Windows and we type in Win, and there you go. It has mouse support. I don't know why I downloaded this. This literally has nothing new except for when you go to this thing and click About, you can see it is Windows 1.02, which you do not know how happy I am to have a version of Windows 1.02 that actually works and lets me use my mouse. And you can see everything's just the same. You still have that same clock. This is basically just, I think, just Windows that was just ported over for the European market. So once again, Windows 1.02. This is very great to have a working version in VirtualBox. So let's read me. Wait. Oh, never mind. Cancel. So there it is. So here, let me just write something. Sub to the Angular 2000. You do that while I set up Windows 1.03. Okay, so before I start this next segment, I just want to say I spent an unfathomably long time trying to set up Windows 1.03 on my computer just for me to find out that it was so simple. It's basically the same as 1.02, the whole DOS import thing. So I'm a little mad, but at the same time, I'm happy at the same time. So let's just talk about Windows 1.03. It was released on August 21st of 1986. And it was like they added more things. I mean, it's basically the same thing as 1.02, 1.01, but it just added one more thing or two. Let's just see what it added. You can see it's right here, and it has that same DOS tag as Windows 1.02 does. I need to stop making these take a long time. They're so easy to install when you find like that right link, that right OVA file. So let's just boot it up. And as you can see, you got this like same thing. CD Win. It's even running the same. It's running DOS 3.3, CD Windows, and the Win. And like, you guys don't know how long I spent trying to set this up just to realize it was easy, just like that. So here it is. Here's Windows 1.03. Here's the proof. We'll go to About, and it says Windows version 1.03. And I don't know why I downloaded this. I don't see anything new other than Reversi. I think that was already there. I don't know what's new in any of this. Like, literally, this all looks identical to the previous two versions. So this segment will not be long, and I have a feeling. What's A? Is A? No, it says cannot read from driveway. So this segment won't be long, and I'm pretty sure that the 1.04 segment won't be long either. Before I start this next segment, I just want to give a huge shout out to whoever on Internet Archive goes by Windows Be Good, because he has been giving me these because they have been providing these things on Archive that have this VirtualBox label on them, and they are so easy to set up, and they have saved me so much time because I didn't know where to find them before. So whoever this guy is, shout out. You get a shout out from me. And now on to what's about Windows 1.04. It was the final version of Windows 1.0, which was released on April 10th of 1987. I don't really know what it did, if I'm being totally honest with you. I'm going to look at that right now. It says right here that 1.04, it included support for IBM PS/2 mouses, and that's pretty much all it did. Let's just cut the crap, and I'm gonna show you guys how easy this is set up. You go to your this thing, you hit File, you hit Import Appliance. I go to this button. I go onto my Windows ISOs. I click this 1.04, and then I click Finish, and it's already appearing on my screen. Thank you so much, whoever this person is. I appreciate it, and that's all I'm going to say. So let's just start this thing up. you can see once again that this is still running Win DOS 3.30, 3.3, CD Windows. Then you type Win, and then the only thing. Oh wait! Oh my God! This is actually something else. Let's go. We can boot from A drive. No, there's nothing from A. So here it is. Literally, the only change I saw was that there was a different logo at the startup screen, and you can still go to About and see that this is Windows 1.04. Something else I just realized, I don't know if this is because there's more, I think there's a couple more programs on here because the aspect ratio has changed from 1.03, 1.02, 1.01, all that. Still, I don't think there's a lot I can show you here, but I'm just really happy that I can move on to Windows 2.0 in the same day I started filming for all the Windows 1.0 versions. So I think Windows 2.0 changed things, so let's do Windows 2.0. Okay, everybody, before I start this Windows 2.0 segment, I just want to say that I started a different recording, and I was at the screen where it told you to type win, and then I typed win, and then everything crashed. So I did another recording. The same error happened, but then I found out I was typing in the wrong thing at the directory. So I have it pulled up right here. But before we get into all the Windows 2.0 nicks and knacks and all that other stuff, we have to talk about how it was released on December 9th of 1987, which was 38 years ago. And just like Windows 1.0 and all the other versions, it had support until December 31st of 2001. They released 4 versions of Windows 2.0, but instead of being titled 1.01, 1.02, 1.03 respectfully, the Windows 2.01 and 2.03 were both released on the same date of December 9th of 1987. While 2.1 and 2.11, I believe, were called Windows /286 or something. I don't know, but what we have right here is Windows 2. Windows 2.01. It's not reading my mouse though, so we don't really have, because it's that whole PS2 thing it's that whole PS/2 IBM mouse thing. So no mouse support. I'm not mad though, because this is the only version right now that we have that doesn't have any mouse support. So, but I think the next version, which I already installed, I think has mouse support. So let's get to that. Alright, so next up we have Windows 2.03, which for some reason was released on the same day that 2.01 was released, which was December 9th of 1987. And as you can see here, let me make it full screen. It's basically the same thing. I mean, the last version didn't have mouse support, so but this thing has loads more stuff, but more stuff you can't open though. If we go to our A drive, we have our no, wait, never mind. If we go to our C drive and then we click maximize. Oh, let's make it full screen. Okay, so I think this is introduced the ability to minimize and maximize things. And if I could close in my Windows session, so here it is. Here's everything. Did they change the calculator? No, a lot of these things look the exact same, except do we have any games on here? We have a control, clock, practice, notepad, paint. See what paint looks like in Windows 2.0. It looks the exact same. And yeah, we have terminal. Hello. I can't type anything. Can't type anything into terminal. Okay. So, unlike Windows 1.0, the predecessor for Windows 2.0 was Windows 2.1, which we'll get into right about now. Alright, so next up, we have Windows 2.1, released on May 27th of 1988. I think they called it Windows 286. So, here it is, Windows 2.1, also known as Windows 286 or 386. So, Once again, this also had support until December 31st of 2001. So here I have it right here. Looks very similar to Windows 2.03, but very not similar to any of the Windows 1.0 versions. So here it is. We have 1987.msp. Oh, it says Win20. That's nice. That's nice. I didn't even draw that. I wasn't on this thing ever. Right. Looks the exact same. A lot of these are the exact same, but when we get to Windows 3.0, that's when like we're gonna see some changes. So, but I think does our A drive have? No, it does not have support. So, yeah, I feel like feeling these segments are gonna start becoming really short because there's nothing to do on these, but it's fun to like take a look at the past, you know. So I can't. So I guess we'll move on to Windows 2.11. Windows 2.11 releases the final version of the lineup of Windows 2.286 and 386. Was released on March 13th of 1989, and let's get to it. Let's just straight up get to it. It's like one of those things that was like really easy to install because it was like one of these DOS applications. So let's open it up and like do stuff in it. I think we type Win386 at the command prompt. Yes, it is. Yes, we do. So there it is. Microsoft Windows /386 version 2.11. And here it is. And let's go to our about. Wait, about in this is I think over here in about MS-DOS Executive. And it says right here version 2.11 copyright 1989 Microsoft Corp. So once again, I mean we have F-Disk in here. So we could actually I think this is like I did not see this in any of the other versions, so I think this is the first version doing have F-Disk support. We also have assign.com. Oh, Control C. I'm just clicking random things at this point. We also have replace.exe, which is just another random thing. Backup, all that stuff. Where's the fun stuff? Is that on A? No, it can't read from drive A, so I think this is everything. Unless there's like some other. So as you can see, like it's like a very bad version of 3.1 because the only thing you could open is this thing right here, that was MS-DOS Executive. Now it's bringing up all this stuff, but I don't see like clock or calculator. Is that because that's in drive A and I can't read anything from there? It's whatever though, because we can finally move on to Windows 3.0 and we can finally get into some versions that people actually recognize. Okay, we're getting real now with these Windows versions. So next up, what we have is Windows 3.0, which was released on May 22nd of 1990. They also released two different other versions, which were Windows 3.0A and Windows 3.0 with multimedia extensions. But unfortunately, those were only released to like businesses and stuff, so I couldn't find an ISO copy of either one of those. So we just have Windows 3.0. Yeah. So let's just open it up. Oh shoot. I just realized okay. Cut the recording. No, don't cut the recording. Show this. I just realized I had Windows 3.1 saved as Windows 10. So we have like 10 gig, we have like 400 gigs of storage in here. Oh no, what did I do? Yeah, it's set to something else. So I messed up badly. The virtual machine is configured to a graphics card other than the recommended one. Okay, so let's just stay. You guys stay here while I fix this. And the virtual machine is using a lot of the host's memory, so it's at 2 whole gigs. Even though I think you just don't need more than 32. Okay. Now that we fixed all those problems, let's start up the virtual machine. Okay. There's all that. Then we'll type win. And then it takes a minute, but there it is. You just saw it fly for a second. It says Windows 3.0. And here it is. Here it is. This introduced something that we've never seen in Windows beforehand. Icons. We have, and it wasn't called MS-DOS Executive. It was called Program Manager. And you can see that if we press, I think we press on About Program Manager, we see there it is. Microsoft Windows 3.0, 386 Enhanced Mode. So that's something. So we have games. So we actually have stuff to do on this computer, which I love hearing. What the hell's reverse side? Let me try that out. Okay, here's reverse side. Let me maximize it. You might only move. Okay, here. I have. Oh, I can only move to spaces where the cursor turns into a cross. Okay, I'm just playing. I'm playing reverse side, guys. Leave me alone. Wait, do I gotta fill up the board? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what people in their work offices back in 1990 were playing this for. Okay, so that's reverse side for you. I don't know how to play that. I've never heard of a reverse side before, so. But we also have Solitaire. That's a game I've played before. Not really. I don't know how to play the Solitaire, but there's your like Solitaire things. Do you actually play Solitaire? Then like good for you or something. All right, we have main, which is just our file manager, which this introduced. This is the first, I believe, the first version of Windows that introduced a file manager. Before then, you had everything on just one like big MS-DOS executive. But your DOS executive would be here now. I don't know if I can insert the VirtualBox Guest Edition CD image. I don't think that's gonna read on here because this drive does not have because this doesn't have CDs in it. This doesn't have CD support from what I know, so that's nice. Let me get out of here actually. Oh, I'm still on File Manager, so just close File Manager. Okay. We also have Control Panel. So let's just do fun things, but like we actually have like things so we can see like how to do it. We have ports, COM1, COM2, COM3, COM4. Okay, wait, this is just settings. This is just boring settings, but look at the icon. Look how cool it looks. Like there's actual icons on here. Now these segments are gonna get longer because there's more things to do. We got sound, color, international. Like look at all this fun stuff. Does it sync time? Yes, it does. Okay, so let me close this. Next thing we have is Print Manager. Oh, never mind. There are no printers. And I'm just gonna close out of this because there's the rest is not fun. Accessories. Look at like these cool icons. I like them. We got a paint. It's not called paint anymore. It's called paintbrush, and it looks nice. We have our calculator here, which looks nice as well. I like this Windows version. A clock that once again is just a clock. Finally we have Windows applications, which is I don't even know what any of these are. So I guess that's it for Windows 3.0. But next up we have Windows 3.1, like a very iconic like Windows version or something. All right, so next up, the setup processes are going to start being different and different because instead of you watching me just do the actual Windows thing because that was easier with the older versions, you're going to be forced to watch me actually set up the versions. What we have here is Windows 3.1. I have the original copy of Windows 3.1 that was released on April 6, 1992. They also released a couple other versions for Windows 3.1, like Windows NT 3.1, Windows 3.11, Windows 3.2, and 3.5, 3.1, and then after that was 95, and then so on and so forth. So we're gonna be stuck on the topic of Windows 3.1 for some time. So let's get started with the setup process of Windows 3.1. And we're starting MS-DOS. This is the first actual setup screen you guys are seeing today, and the one I'm seeing too. So we are installing 6.22 because that is the recommended version of MS-DOS that you should install for Windows 3.1. As you can see, it's going to format our drive C. I don't think it's going to take a long time though. Alright, now it's like telling me if the settings are correct. I'm going to have to click yes sir that they are indeed correct. Yes. Or it's not asking me for setup disk 2. Right, if it wants setup disk 3. Guys, I've installed MS-DOS 6.22 before. I know how the setup process goes. I'm just going through it. Okay, remove all disks from floppy disk drives and then hit enter. Then setup. There you go. Let's go. The setup program for Windows 3.1 prepares blah 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 blah. Okay, let's go. There, let's go. All right, we have to enter a name and a company. My name is Angel, and I work for. I don't work for anybody. Can't continue. Okay, we need disk 3. Now we want disk 4. There's something, so I think there's something supposed to be written down here, but like it's not showing up at all. Okay, cancel. Okay. It is skip tutorial. Okay, remove any floppy disks in any drives. Do we click? Okay, you need to restart your computer, so we're gonna hit reboot. It is starting MS-DOS, and type win. Hooray! We have made it to Windows 3.1. I downloaded an IBM version, so I guess that's why that thing looked different. So here it is. I don't think we have any sound drivers. Let me hit reset. So let me test out my sound drivers. Now, I don't think sound drivers work on this. Okay, here it is. It kind of looks the same as Windows 3.0, but look at this. MS-DOS has its own logo now. Isn't that cool? And not only that, we have more games. We have Minesweeper. I'm bad at this game. I played Minesweeper before, guys. Trust me, and believe me or something. Startup has nothing in it, unless it's just not loading. Main is what we were just looking at. Accessories. This is the stuff we like to see over. We have a recorder. We have a media player. We have a sound recorder. We have a clock. Unlike the other versions that had analog clocks, this has a digital clock. It is showing 4:43. Today's Pi Day or something. So really, there's nothing special other than the setup process. So I think we got like a couple more 3.1 versions to go with, like some work group things. So let's like get to those. Up next, we have yet another version of Windows 3.1. This one was titled Windows for Workgroups 3.1. It was released on October 31st of 1992, just about, I want to say 6 months after the original release of Windows 3.1. Windows 3.1, they codenamed it the original version Janus and Workgroups version Sparta. So I guess let's download Windows for Workgroups 3.1. I bet it's going to be very similar. A lot of these installs are going to be similar. So I think I'm just going to skip the MS-DOS installation process. So I'll see you guys when I'm at the MS-DOS prompt when I've already downloaded the thing. Like no other. We got the Windows for Workgroups. Basically, the only thing changed about the setup is the name of the setup. I actually have to. I'm not gonna type in my actual name. No wait. My name is Nick. No wait no. Peter Berger, and I work at Dick's House of Poo Poo. No. Dick's House of Fun. Computer name computer. And we belong to the work group ABCD123. Yeah, that sounds right. Okay, so we're back here at this screen now, which tells me to remove any floppy disk drives and restart my computer. And of course, the only reason why I get an error is because I can't get any of the network stuff in because I don't have a network for this thing. So here we are. As you can see, Windows for Workgroups version 3.1. Very similar. But like we got more boring things like Schedule Plus. What the we need a name and a password. Billy Shitter. Billy Shit. And my password is ABCD 123. It can't do the scheduled things. Main, is there anything here in Main? Oh, I was just in Main. We have anything in our applications? Oh, wait, no, these were the same things. Program Manager. I don't want to be in applications. Games. What do we have in games? We have one new game added. It's just Hearts. Damn it. You had an actual network just to play Hearts. Okay, so what's Object Packager? Oh, I guess just stuff. Okay, so all I see new is like 2 or 3 new apps. So I don't know what Windows version's after this, but let's move on to that one. Did that? And you fast one. Do we have like a thing to start boot? No, literally. It sounds like nothing. Okay. Okay, so what we have right here is introducing Windows NT. Oh, what the heck did I just? Is this a video? This is nice. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it. Can I get out of here? Please. Let me get out of here. Your mouse will not be active during the presentation. Oh, lucky me. Oh, wait. Okay, we got out of there successfully. Do you have any new games? No. It's just for resale. It's just boring card games. So you can see, I mean, it's like literally our wallpaper too. Microsoft Windows NT Program Manager, blah 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 blah. So we also have some administrative tools because we actually have internet with this. So I guess there's nothing else to do here. And time to install, like, oh, we can press log off or shut down. I'm gonna press shut down. Okay. More features being added as we speak. It is now safe to turn off my computer. So I will do that. Okay, so oh shoot, I just opened. Okay, so next up we have Windows NT 3.1 Advanced Server, which is basically, technically in Wikipedia it says it's the first server version released by Windows. See? Released the same day as the regular Windows NT. I have it right here, but before I open it, I just want to go a little off topic. I was looking back at editing and I realized the last time I filmed Windows NT on Monday. It is Saturday. Cause like I completely forgot about this whole project until something refreshed in my memory. So and I was saying about how I get to Windows 95 by the end of the week, and I still have a bunch of NT server versions to go through. Let's just get to it. I already set it up and everything, so press Control Alt Delete to log on. Do that. My username is, I think it was like Angel, and the password was like 12. That was it. Okay, so I type in administrator, so that's that. What's Windows NT setup? Oh, there's like my computer specs. It's not really my computer specs, but like that's that. So as you can see, we're here in Windows NT Program Manager 3.1. This product is licensed to me, of course. I completely forgot about all these versions of Windows. Based the same 3 games. A lot of the same startup is just not showing up. A lot of the same applications, but you get a new wallpaper. It says Microsoft Windows NT Advanced Server. That's a mouthful. So can you like change your wallpaper or something? Because I don't like these basic wallpapers. So is it no, it's not. I think administrative tools. Because basically I'm like the owner of this computer or something. Like this is like basically like GoGuardian, so I can like see what everyone's doing on their what the fuck. Oh. I can play music here. That's nice. Cause I installed this off the CD-ROM, so that's like it detects a CD-ROM drive every time. So that's that. So where's like the thing I can change my wallpaper with? Hey, I'll find it in another version of Windows. I don't even know what version of Windows is after this. I'm just going off of the Wikipedia order. Wait, you have to press shut down instead of okay, nice. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so shutting down looks a little different, but it's really just the same stuff. Okay, so up next we have Windows 3.11. In our personal computer versions of Windows 3.11, it tells us that it was released on November 8th, 1993, and they released 2 versions, Windows 3.11 and Windows for Workgroups 3.11. There you go. Off the bat, like right off the bat, it doesn't look like you updated it. It doesn't look like 3.11 at all, but I'm assuring you, when you go to About Program Manager, it says version 3.11. This is an IBM OEM version, so the startup looks a little different, but like, who cares? Literally nothing different. I'm getting used to seeing these menus now, but that was what I was expecting when I did this like challenge in the first place. So I don't know what else to do. I mean, you got Minesweeper. I mean, there was like 7 other versions of Windows we did beforehand that also had Minesweeper, but this is Minesweeper. This isn't any other game. This is Minesweeper. Oh my god! No, I thought I was actually gonna beat a game of Minesweeper for once, and I still don't even know how to play it. So here's Minesweeper. You move it up here. The one thing that I actually do want to do is like try to change this wallpaper, because like what do I hit? Like what do I do? Is it like a accessory or something? No, I don't see it anywhere. I bet I'll like find out how to do it and then come back and like customize it like however I want. But for now, let's move on to Windows for Workgroups 3.11. Next up, we have Windows for Workgroups 3.11. Released on the same day as Windows 3.11. I was going through the setup and the setup was different for once. It says Windows for Workgroups 3.11 instead of Windows 3.1. So well, I removed all the floppies, all that, so I'm just gonna hit restart. 1.1. Once again, looks awfully similar. There you see, Microsoft Windows 4 Workgroups 3.11. Nothing else for me to do on here, but I believe that the next version of Windows is like not going to be 3.11 or like a 3.0 version. But I don't know. I could be wrong. Let me go see. But it's going to do it for Windows for Workgroups 3.11. Awfully similar to the last like 5 versions we've installed. Okay, so next up, so after 3.11, it was Windows 3.2. And I'm gonna install it like always, but apparently they only made Windows 3.2 for the Chinese market. So I'm installing a version of Windows 3.1 that's going to be entirely in Chinese, and I'm not going to be able to read it. But I've been to buffets before. This is going to be simple. A drive, and then hit setup. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me! And it's for some reason the setup is in English. It says they call it Microsoft Windows 3.2 Chinese Edition because I guess they didn't release any of the other versions in China. Nope. Yep. Now I can't read anything. Okay, so from what I know, this is gonna ask for my name, and then I'm gonna hit OK. Yes. Okay, so the only thing that's helping me right now are these like little pictures. So this is to reboot. This is to go back to DOS. So I'm gonna hit reboot. It's booting, and we are booted into Windows 3.2. This is like the only version of Windows that I was actually excited to install for some reason. So here it is. Literally nothing's changed other than the language. And we can go to About Program Manager and see that we are on Microsoft Windows version 3.2. You guys might be wondering why I know where all these are. It's literally because this has been going on. We had 3.0, 3.0A, 3.1, 3. And so on. So I know pretty much everything. This is the games tab. This is accessories. This is main. I think that's a startup, and this is like the main stuff. I know everything about Windows 3.1 at this point, but this is so cool, and I'm happy that I actually got to install it on American software. So I think this is the end of the road for Windows 3. Any of the Windows 3.0 versions. We got some other server versions, and then we got the big Windows 95. Okay, so I may have almost spent 2 hours trying to install Windows NT 3.5 on this computer, but then I found out that literally I have to do server, and I only have workstation here right now. So we have Windows NT 3.5 workstation released on September 21st of 1994. And I wanted to get some extra drivers installed, but then I realized that it really wouldn't be that necessary, so what do you know? I didn't install them. I'm gonna yap for a little bit, okay, so bear with me. I spent an hour trying to get, because I'm looking back at the previous recordings. I recorded I recorded 3.2 around 10 in the morning. It is 139. I'm mad at myself because I literally spent a long time on something that wasn't even necessary. Yep, proofs in the pudding right here. I recorded a Windows 3.2 at 10:55 a.m. It is currently 1:48. That's almost 2 hours, no, 3 hours, 2 hours, I don't care, spent on me trying to get Windows NT Workstation 3.5 installed, and we still have another version to go through. Anyways, here it is. I installed some extras. I installed Service Pack 3, but you can see it right there. Nothing different than a lot of the other versions we went through, but things are going to start changing, okay? Things are really going to start changing soon. But, of course, we still have a couple more useless versions to go through, so let's get to those. Okay, so next up, we have Windows NT 3.5 Server, which is a server version of Windows NT 3.5 that came out on the same day as 3.5 Workstation. And we have it right here. Surprisingly, setup was way shorter than NT Workstation, and just log on, and there you go. I'm starting. My sanity's starting to rise up like little by little, but you can see NT server. We have a couple more things, like we have network administration. Basically, the usual what we get with these server versions, but with every single one that we install on this computer, the more my sanity drops to the lowest point it's ever been. I mean, I see user manager for domains, and I think that's a little different, right? But like, it was probably on another server version that I just didn't know about. So we it even said it on like the description of the Internet Archive thing. It read it just said Windows 3. It's just like Windows 3.1, but with a different logo. And that doesn't even show up when you go to the About Program Manager, but man, these like Windows 95 is going to be the savior of all Windows versions, and maybe it might make me normal again. Okay, so before I start the next segment, I am feeling really better from the other Windows NT versions. But next up, we have Windows NT 3.51 with Service Pack 5. I've installed a modified version of Windows NT 5.1 that comes with Service Pack 5 and later updates that were integrated. The number one thing I noticed about when setting this up is the fact that it was booting into some sort of Windows 2000/95 menu. But other than that, Windows NT 3.51 Workstation was released on May 30th of 1995, and I have it right here. I'm going to hit reset. I'm going to go full screen. Press any key to boot from CD. I'm not going to do that. And yeah, it says for troubleshooting and advanced startup options for Windows 2000, even though it's acting like it's trying to start Windows 2000, but we are 7 years behind that right now. There it is. Windows NT Workstation 3.51. So we're going to log on. And first thing I see, we get Books Online. That's something new. You know, I haven't seen anything new since we upgraded from Windows 2.0 to Windows 3.0. So that's nice for me to see. We also, let's go to our program manager. We have Service Pack 5 installed. I don't even believe there was a Service Pack 5 for Windows NT 3.51, but I just believe it because it's on my computer now. And we have a lot of updates that I'm probably not even going to use. The one thing that I'm getting happy about is that we have one more version of Windows 3.51, and then we move on to Windows 95, which I am very excited about for some strange reason. So let's move on to Windows 3.51 Server. Okay, so next up, the final version that we're going to install in this part, because I'm going to split this video in between different parts. We're installing Windows NT 3.51 Server, which came out same time as NT 3.51 Workstation. Now, the reason why I busted out the setup is because, look at it! Look at the background! Look, I've used VirtualBox before. I've installed way more than I'm installing in the series. This is the Windows 95 setup. I am just happy that we're seeing something different, because it feels like there's been nothing different in all of these like segments. Remove any and all floppy disks, and they're out, so we can hit reset. Click on Windows NT Server 3.51. It is booting up now. With these NT versions, they're gonna do this every time, where they're just gonna do, and it's gonna reset again, and then the second time I do this whole OS loader thing, it's gonna just take me to the actual like OS. So, yep, it's telling me done, and there it is. Windows NT Server 3.51. Enter my password, and here we are, the last version of part 1, and that is an accomplishment. I started this on, I believe I started this on like a Saturday. It took me one whole week to complete this, and I still have like a bunch more OSs to install. You can see 3.51, all that. There's literally nothing for me to do, so I'm just going to get out of here. This is like literally, but like, I'm just so happy and proud of myself for some reason. This is going to clog my computer very much, but you can see right here when I open VirtualBox, look at this. 1, 2, 3. There's one down here. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 versions of Windows I had to sit here and install, and half of them were the same. So now sit back and watch me install 20 more versions that are exactly the same.